Taking the series forward today, we have with us Mr. Prateek Modi, who was the founder of Modified Digital, a high growth digital agency where he works with clients and content along with digital marketing projects to improve their online brand, develop their new digital marketing plans, increase the reach of existing campaigns, and maximize the conversion rates. Prateek also holds a solid 12 years of marketing industry experience and has been known for his successful and viral marketing campaign called Breaking Stereotypes to launch Truly Madly in India. So we just can't wait to begin with the session. And a very warm welcome to all the audiences who are watching us. A warm welcome to Prateek, and over to you.
Thank you, Purnima. I'll just share my screen and begin my session. My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
So, very good evening to everybody. Today I'll be sharing a very short masterclass on how you can implement very essential, very easy, very basic digital marketing strategies for transforming your business. Um, the keyword here is easy, implement, and transformation, right? Because it sounds very counterintuitive. Most of the clients we work with, they come with a lot of baggage that, digital marketing is complex, it's not easy to implement, and, it's not implementable also a lot of times. And what sort of transformation can we expect, right? So there's a lot of baggage that clients come to us with. So for that reason, I'm going to share um, few very basic things which are highly effective, and of course we'll take plenty of questions along the way. So I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. uh, I'll just begin with two very crazy stories. One is this 0 to 1 journey of a brand we worked with in 2017, 2018. This was essentially a travel client which had been struggling with stagnation. So if you see here, the blue and orange line is the leads or the conversions which they were getting from their campaigns. And for months, it had been stagnated. And this is where we came in, and we implemented a couple of uh, strategies on their campaign and on their website. And in fact, they got such amazing results that within 2 months they had to tell us to slow down on the campaign so that they could manage the work or the inquiries which were coming in, right? So I'm a big believer in having simple to execute strategies which compound over a period of time, right? So this is one case study of that, which showcase, and this was a legacy family business which got transformed using digital. They'd been using all sorts of offline marketing and not really had seen any success with digital, right? This was another fashion client, fashion designer, small business, which came to us with similar challenges. We used Facebook ads to grow their label, and if you can see here, we had spent about 3,500 rupees in the second month and got them almost a 10x ROI. Sales were 35,000 rupees. This was just a test campaign. In fact, we had to stop the campaign because they were not ready for the orders which came in, and they realized that the business itself is very small for testing digital marketing. Again, simple, clear implementation of basics, right? um, so that's something I'll be sharing today, and hopefully it'll be useful for you. Quick introduction about myself. I am an entrepreneur. I am very curious and I love all things online. We've worked with over 350 clients in the last 12 years, and these have ranged from large businesses, startups, consultants, small businesses, and we've spent a lot of money online uh, running these campaigns and building these systems for marketing, right? I have a team of 50 working full time, and all of us are connected by our love for the internet, because once you master how the internet works and how to digitally grow your brand, you can really scale very fast, right? We're serving 100 plus clients in multiple B2C, B2B industries. Um, just skipping through some of this. These are some of the clients that we are currently working with, ranging from real estate companies, educational organizations, mom and pop stores, brands, um, and non-profits and so on, right? So there are essentially four things which one needs to really learn well uh, to master digital marketing. The first is to build a high converting website, because that's essentially your online storefront. If your website is not high converting, then no matter how much you spend on ads, it will not yield results, right? Second is to generate the right kind of traffic, the right kind of audience. Instead of having a spray and pray approach, having targeted, just targeting a very, very small niche audience can lead to disproportionate results, right? Using paid advertising to scale, and then managing the leads, the sales which are coming to you, right? Essentially, this is what the entire game is, no matter how small or how big the firm is, right? Uh, I'll be sharing, of course, due to lack of time, I'll be sharing 2 or 3 case studies with you, which are essentially hidden in plain view strategies. Uh, One very important mindset hack required for success, and of course, Q&A, right? Um, our framework. So at Modified, we have a fairly standard framework. We want to keep things extremely simple. Even when campaigns get challenging, we are constantly consolidating and simplifying our strategies so that they're easy to execute. We are a big fan of the 80-20 principle. So we are constantly identifying what are those 10% activities in every area of digital marketing which have given us disproportionate results, 80% of the results. So all our, all my theory and implementation has largely been around it. It needs to be easy to implement, right? And it should be relevant, right? So for instance, we are rapidly moving into an age of AI. So we are also constantly integrating that in all of our workflows, right? Of course, spending on digital has increased year on year. So between 2017 2022, it's almost doubled from $200 billion globally to almost $400 billion, and this is just going to keep on increasing, right? um, and the amount of technology which is coming into our lives is mind-boggling. So this is a very funny statistic I found out very recently, that almost 3 lakh babies are born every day, and slightly more, in fact 3.7 lakh babies are born, and almost 3.8 lakh iPhones are sold every single day. So we're living in a world where technology has seeped into each and every aspect of our lives. So it's just obvious that if we succeed in learning how to use it for our benefit, no matter what uh, stage of life we are in, whether we are a student, whether we are an early working professional, or whether we are, starting our businesses, digital skills will always help us, will always be relevant, and will always give us an edge over the others, right? So the first strategy, something which I in fact learned from newspapers, and it's so simple, so obvious. Uh, it's it's insane how many people miss this, right? Um, so basically, we were designing a website for one of India's oldest and largest water non-profits, and we were really struggling with you know creating a design which would get uh, which would be effective, number one, and which would get sign off from all the stakeholders, right? In fact, the entire project took almost 9 months. This is what the design looked like. The website which came to us, this is what it looked like, and this is what we built it into, right? Um, Now, I'm not going to delve in the overall UI UX part of it or the web design part of it. Essentially, what is the 10%? What is the 10%? Thing we did, which gave them 80% of the result at all levels, is what I'm going to focus this case study on. So it's the top half of the website, right, which is called above the fold. This part, right? This is what it looked. This is what the above the fold looked like before and this is what it looked after, right? Essentially, what this organization does is it takes communities like these landscapes, which are barren, almost moving towards desertification, and makes them completely green, right? That simple single central message was something the entire website was not being able to communicate effectively, because of which their audience, which is potential funders, were not able to understand karte kya hai ye log, right? So we just communicated that on the above the fold, right? And everybody loved it. And the lead gen, which happened as a result, was amazing. Now, this strategy is actually from newspapers. The fold which we see on the newspaper is where this term comes from, above the fold. So, if you're working on any website project, you have to ensure that your above the fold is crystal clear and super attractive, because that is what 80% of your users will see, and then they will decide whether they want to work with you or not, whether they want to buy from you or not, or whether they want to sign up on your platform or not, right? If your above the fold is weak, then most users will bounce, will exit, and your money will get wasted, right? um, it's such a simple thing. It's like sitting in plain view, but people miss it. They get bored. Ki, why are we spending so much time working on this above the fold section? The key insight is that it should quickly be able to convey whatever you want to convey in less than 3 seconds, because that is the amount of time you have to make an impression on any user who comes in contact with your online business, with your website, right? And if you can just improve this, you can increase conversion rates by almost 3 times. So imagine this: you're spending X amount of money to get 100 users, out of which 3 people are converting right now. All things being the same, the amount of money you're spending on your ads and everything, all of them being the same. If you simply fix your above the fold, you can get 10 people to convert from the same ad spend. So that's where money is made, and that's where businesses take off. And this we've seen across the board, right? um, the second strategy, I'll just, in fact, skip through this. Of course, I'll be sharing this deck with the Xaphal team, so you guys can, go through all the case studies at length. But yeah. So the second strategy which I want to share is attracting the right users, right? Um After you've optimized, built your website, and you have a system in place to sell whatever it is that you want to sell in your online business, the next important thing is to have a system in place to attract users, right? But not just any user. The keyword here is attracting the right user. So understanding someone who is interested in you, interested in buying from you, and is searching from you, right? So there's a very popular saying in marketing circles that the only crowd anyone wants is a starving crowd, right? वो कहते हैं ना कि अगर भूख लग रही है तो कुछ भी खाना बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, right? So if you're able to identify who is that starving user who's really starving for your product or service, then even with an average product or an average website, you'll be able to convert them easily, right? So that's the game. The essential part here is that to get them to act, you have to first give, right? This is again a big mistake, and it's a simple tweak in digital strategy, right? The question we should be asking, not we should be asking, is how can they, buy from us? The question is, what can we add on our pages which can get users to take action, right? What can we give to them? Um, this case study is from a 1927 ad. Was उस time internet नहीं था, digital नहीं था. Um, this is from Rolex, right? So this ad is extremely interesting, black and white ad, uh, and it was one of Rolex's earliest print ads. And if you see over here, right in the middle of this ad, they have this headline which says, "Send for this colored brochure, it's free." Now, at that time in 1927, colored printing, colored brochures, all of those things were extremely rare, and for users, it was an exciting thing. So the idea they had was that in exchange for this colored brochure, they were getting contact database. They were getting leads essentially, right? So personal information today is extremely valuable, and in order to gain this personal information, you have to constantly think, what is it? What is that something valuable that you can give for free on your website, which can get users to convert, right? So this strategy is extremely powerful when it comes to Google, when it comes to social media ads, any kind of digital marketing. This again is extremely powerful, and it's something called permission marketing, where instead of interrupting a user's buying journey, you're taking permission from them to actually sell to them, right? Extremely powerful. We've actually used this on a brand called Smart Academy, which is a venture from Tech Mahindra, where we were able to grow their website traffic from scratch, from zero to almost 60,000 monthly users, right? And this is a non-profit initiative, right? Um, the last point which I want to share before we move to Q&A is the power of consistency. So with digital, the it's always been like that. Like, I've been in this field for almost 14 years now. Every year something new comes in, right? Either a new platform comes in, either a new strategy comes in, or a new tool comes in, or जैसे अब AI का ज़माना चालू हो गया है. So every year something new is always coming in, right? Because of which what happens is, us as marketeers, we are very easily distracted, right? It's called shiny object syndrome, right? The most successful brands, the most successful companies are those which have done things with consistency. So even if we pick one channel, we don't have to do everything all at once. Even if we pick one channel, but we use it consistently, we'll get disproportionate amount of returns, right? Um, the like one favorite example I have is of Warren Buffett. Everybody knows, he's one of the world's most successful investors, and has a net worth of almost $84 billion. But very few people know that Warren Buffett actually amassed $83 billion after he crossed the age of 55. Before that, the net worth was somewhere in the millions, right? So it was actually consistent investing over a long period of time, which gave those disproportionate returns. So I think it's the same with digital marketing as well. And yeah, that's the mindset that we need to have, and we'll definitely always be successful. Thank you so much. We can take questions now.
Thank you to you. That was like a very well curated and an informative presentation. Thanks a lot for working so hard for all of us. And moving to the question straight away, you entered the professional sphere more than 10 years ago. And how has digital marketing actually evolved over the years? And what are the trends that you see now?
So it's very interesting. Like, when I started learning digital marketing, it was 2008, right? I was in first year of college, and back then it was a very niche thing. Like, Facebook was very new in India. Instagram had not been launched. Very few of these platforms were launched, right? And only SEO existed in any shape or form. Um, Now, when I look back, SEO is still very important, because most of us use Google a few times a day to look for something important for us, right? So, in terms of getting ROI, if we are able to manage our Google presence well, we'll constantly have interested target audiences buying from us, right? So that's one trend I've seen. The second has obviously been social media, right? So nowadays everybody is super active on social media. 10 years back, obviously that wasn't the case. Moving ahead, I think personal branding is going to be super important. So since Xaphal has a platform which caters to students, and I'm sure there are a bunch of students in the audience, if you start building your own personal brand and start learning what it takes to build your own personal brand today, it will always create disproportionate amount of opportunities for you, because you will start positioning yourself as a passionate expert. And we've seen this enough times. The moment we start talking to any, like we do, I do multiple hiring calls every single day. We invariably check out their LinkedIn profile and what they're talking on LinkedIn. What are they? What kind of information they are sharing? What kind of profile they have, and that really makes a strong impression on potential employers. Even for business owners, when they are working with clients, client want to search them on LinkedIn and see what kind of content they're creating. So personal brand is going to become super duper important, right? And last is of course AI. So using chat GPT, workflows have become disrupted, and things which used to take days literally take minutes now, right? So I don't think chat GPT will replace anybody, but it will replace the people who don't use AI. So using our own individual creativity and our own knowledge, we can become transformational marketeers using Chat GPT or other AI tools. So AI is going to play a huge role in the years ahead. So these are the three things I've seen over time.
Well, all of these three things are probably very, very important. And just like you said, building a personal brand is, of course, very important. And all the companies, they check your social media and everything before actually going ahead with your application. So, yeah, that was like pretty insightful. Moving ahead, how can a small business with a limited budget or maybe a no budget can effectively utilize their digital marketing to grow through their brand?
So, it's actually pretty simple, right? It's about mathematics, to be very honest. If you have zero budgets, uh, see, it's a factor of either you have money or you have time, right? You have to invest one of those assets, right? If you don't have budgets in terms of money, I'm assuming you will have to have budgets in terms of time, right? The second thing is that you don't need to invest a lot of money if you have time, because if you know who your users are, you can easily start reaching out to them over Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn and start making pitches, right? So I would say that for a small business which has zero marketing budgets, the best thing they can do is start creating some content using Chat GPT, using Canva, free tools again. Start posting on your social media profiles, which is again free to do, and start reaching out to potential clients and customers with your offers, which is again free to do. And if you know that, eventually you start realizing if you have 100 conversations, out of them one or two materialize into business. So it's just maths then. You reach out to 100 people, you get one client. Reach out to the next 100 people, get two clients, and build from there. The last thing which many small businesses fail to do is to build successful portfolio and case studies of their work. So if you focus on creating those successful results that you have created, showcasing them to potential leads, you can get a lot more business. These are
Wonderful answer. Wonderful answer, I'll say. Uh, what are the common mistakes that businesses actually make when it comes to digital marketing, and how can they actually, correct their mistakes in order to grow?
uh, where do I start? Like, there are so many mistakes we see. But just to name one or two common mistakes that we see, one is that, like I shared in my presentation also, shiny object syndrome, right? Instead of following one strategy consistently over a long period of time, a lot of corporates are doing many things, hundreds of things, and getting some result here, some result there, but not a very clear cut, effective result using any one channel, right? So, what we try and advise corporates is that have one profitable, wildly profitable channel first before you start exploring other media channels. So, what do I mean by that? If social media is working for your brand, then build a very strong social presence. If search or Google is working very well for your brand, then focus on building a very strong Google presence. Don't think about social media then. Once that becomes profitable for you and it's leading to sales to customers, then diversify, right? So this is one very common mistake we see. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's absolutely right. As if, I mean, we all need to understand as businesses or brands that The social media USP of our brand is what probably needs to be understood first, and then we can go ahead. So our next question actually derives from this itself. What are the social media platforms, and how can actually people determine which ones are the best for them? So with so many of them available.
Hmm. So there are two things here. Like I would like to imagine this as a Venn diagram. So one diagram is what your business is about, right? Uh, what is the product you're trying to sell? What is the message you're trying to convey? Everything around your business. That's one diagram. And the second diagram is where do my customers hang out? Where does my target audience hang out the most, right? So at the intersection of that is the ideal platform for us, right? So for instance, let's suppose that I'm a fashion business. Now if I'm a fashion business, that clearly means I have a very visual business. So by default, Instagram becomes an important platform for me, right? If I'm a fashion business, then my target audience, which is maybe women between the ages of 23 to 30, also hang out a lot on Instagram, right? So that will become one key determining factor. But let's suppose my business is, like machine tools. Let's suppose it's industrial machine tools. Instagram might not be the right platform because I might be wanting to attract engineers. Even LinkedIn, for that matter, might not be the right platform. For all you know, an industry magazine which goes out to engineers all over India uh, is what I need to have a presence in, right?
Yes.
So it's really stemming from where do my customers hang out and
Hmm.
maximizing that, which is
Yes.
important.
So, Pratik, also tell us what are your biggest learnings that you actually have known being a founder of an agency?
Um, One big learning is that hiring the right people is extremely important. So I think I made a lot of hiring mistakes when I started out. Uh, Having one correct person with a vision alignment and skill alignment with you is far better than having five people who are not aligned with what you're trying to achieve, right? So the team that we have, the core team that we have, needs to be extremely strong. And I've learned that the hard way. Second thing is that problems are actually opportunities, right? A lot of times, unexpected problems come up, and one tends to run away from them, or one tends to, get scared. But if you train yourself to see problems as opportunities, then you start enjoying running a business because it's not easy, right? It's filled with unexpected challenges. Uh, so converting challenges into opportunities and solutions is something that I've learned is a very, very important skill to have. And third is to have a lot of faith in yourself, because when you start any business or any startup, there will be this gestation period where आप effort तो कर रहे हो daily but result नहीं दिखेगा. you know you may be making sales calls every single day but clients aren't converting or they aren't picking the phone, or maybe you're an influencer creating content every day but likes नहीं आ रहे, videos viral नहीं हो रहे, you know you don't know what to do. So there's this gestation period every business has. One just needs to have faith in yourself and in your product to be able to make it through that and crack the first, mini success. Once that happens, then you just need to keep repeating it, and
There's no looking back
yeah,
then.
then there's no looking back. Exactly. I think that patience one needs to have before they make this jump.
Yes. Digital marketing evolving in the future, and what should am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just repeat it once again. How do you see the digital marketing industry evolving in the future, and what should businesses be doing in order to prepare for these changes?
So I think the first thing which everybody is talking about is the use of AI. that's really taken the world by storm in the last 1 year, and I think that is definitely going to be the case moving on as well. So I think all business owners need to integrate AI into their workflows so that they're able to produce content faster, ideate plans faster, and launch campaigns faster, right? And the second big thing is to have a personal brand, right? Um, More and more users now want to connect with the people running that business instead of the actual business itself. So today I might not be a Tesla user, but I follow Elon Musk, right? And tomorrow if Elon Musk is launching any product, I'll immediately get to know, right? So the power of having a personal brand is extremely underestimated, and is going to be the way forward. So businesses start, like, business owners and founders need to start putting themselves out there and start building their personal brands.
So, Pratik, just like you said, AI is what the future is actually beholding for all of us. How can businesses actually utilize this AI part in their businesses or brands and move towards growth?
So it's essentially, it can be used at a lot of various levels, right from ideating content calendars for social media, writing captions, writing marketing plans, blog posts for your, website. So all the content writing work can be delegated to AI. Uh, Email writing can be delegated to AI, right? A lot of business owners struggle with writing emails. You put a few prompts in, you can get a lot of things out of it. Sales pitches can be created out of AI. So, you can come up with very customized proposals, just putting in the right prompts for your product and the kind of user you want to, target. um, there are a lot of such use cases which we have been using increasingly. In fact, uh, one of our teams is based out of a small town in Hapur, where it's a back-end office and communication is a challenge for the team. But using AI, they've been able to communicate their ideas a lot more better to clients and other team members just by having well-written messages or well-written emails. So and that's given a lot of confidence to the team, which didn't have English speaking capabilities.
Right.
So plenty of use cases.
Yes. Absolutely. And we would like to inform all our viewers who are watching us that the public chat is now open for you to ask questions that you have in mind for Prateek. So you can go ahead and shoot your questions, and we would love to take them. And Prateek, we would like now to take the last question with our round. And the question is that what advice do you have for people who are starting out their businesses and with digital marketing? So, what are the common pitfalls that they can probably avoid in order to, you know, s- be safe?
Um, so I have a very banya mentality when it comes to business, and one common pitfall I see is that people get distracted by uh, vanity metrics, like how many followers do I have, how many views are my videos getting, etc. The most important metric for any business is sales, right? So one needs to constantly just focus on sales, and even if you don't have a lot of followers, it's okay as long as you have sales coming in. At the end of the day, oxygen, that's the oxygen which will run any business. So that's the most important thing one needs to focus on, right? um, and second pitfall is people generally underestimate the time it would take to be successful, right?
Hmm.
There's nothing like overnight success. It's a very cliche thing, but it's true. Having a 3-year horizon is important, right? If you're starting out your own business, giving yourself at least 3 years for making it successful is important, right? That's the average that I've seen. um, even with a lot of our clients who are startups, unless you pump in a lot of money beforehand, if you're bootstrapping it with sweat equity, it will take time. So be ready for that long haul.
Well, thank you so much for that amazing advice. And I hope all the people who have been watching us have absolutely been motivated and inspired by Prateek's story. Moving ahead with public questions, I have Bhavtosh Upadhyay's question where he asks, how important is search engine optimization for my small business? And what can I do to improve my website's ranking in search results?
So Bhavtosh, thank you for asking that question. Um, it totally depends on what your business is about. So if a lot of people are searching for your products on Google, and you can get that data from Keyword Planner or from Google Trends, if you have search volume, search interest um, around your products and services, then you should definitely uh, make it very very priority. Like it should be a priority area for you, because these are the users who are searching for you. So instead of you going out and looking for users, if your business is in front of users who are actually searching for you, it's short business coming to you. So that's why it's super difficult to come on the first page of Google, because it's a highly competitive digital real estate, right? So what can you do to improve your website's ranking? It's, in one word, it is to consistently create content for your website. Look at what your potential users would search for and create content accordingly for your website, right? So I have a small business as well. I have keywords like best non-profit marketing agency, best educational digital marketing agency, and few other keywords around which we've created specific content pages, and we keep creating new content on our blog, which is interesting, original, and packed with knowledge. So that gets us a lot of inquiries. It's beautiful. I mean, you can sitting from anywhere, you can generate business globally, right? So that's the power of SEO. Um, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Bhavtosh.
Well, of course it does. And I mean, coming from you, all the information that you've given us is very relevant. And of course, it's going to work for all the people who are watching us. Also, to the second question, we move. Can you recommend any courses or resources for learning more about digital marketing and gaining hands on experience?
So, Ator, thank you for asking that question. When I started in this field, there were not a lot of courses out there in the market, but today there are, fortunately. So, what I would recommend is that you start by first checking out some free videos and free courses online, and implementing what you see in these courses. So a lot of times we get a lot of students who want to work as interns. We see that they have done courses, but they have not implemented what they learn in these courses. So implementation is extremely important to really learn anything. Just by sitting and watching a few courses, you will not be able to gain that hands-on experience, right? That is my first recommendation to you. There are a lot of courses by Upgrad which are good. You can consider that later on. A lot of influencers and course creators have created their own courses and masterminds. So depending on what actual skill you want to learn, so let's say you want to learn performance marketing, start following some performance marketing influencers on LinkedIn and on Instagram. If you want to learn social media, start following such people, and you will find those people you start vibing with, and start taking some of their free workshops and sessions. Again, having a core focus on implementation, that will give you enough. Like, this is enough for 1 or 2 years, right? Unfortunately, in the digital space, having just credentials doesn't work. You have to have credentials of results, right? So for that, do work for free. As long if you're starting out and you don't have any paid assignments, offer to work for free on anyone's project. Approach a company, say I'll work for free and I'll try and generate results for you. Those are your case studies, right? And that's how you can gain a lot of hands-on experience as well, right? Because again, a lot of people come to us and say opportunities नहीं मिल रही. without realizing that skill set नहीं है, आपने वो results नहीं generate करें, that's why आपको opportunities नहीं मिल रही. So extremely important. To answer Nishant's question, you don't need any special degree or certification to have a job in digital. You just need to have a history of success, if you will. So if you have some case studies of practical experience, you've done projects you've worked on, people will generally be open to hiring you, right? At least that's what my worldview has always been.
Yes. So I hope Nishant, of course, has been his question has been noticed and Prateek himself answered. And Sankalp asks, what do you think in is the future of digital marketing and how will AI affect it? I think you probably said a lot about it earlier, but if you could like just say a few lines about it again.
Sankalp, so in terms of the future of digital marketing, I would say that the riches are in the niches, is what I'm saying. Trying to, I heard a marketer say this. So it's going to be an era of super specialization, right? Um, so if you have a very specialized niche, specialized business, and you're doing digital marketing in that niche, you will have higher chances of success. If you want to target everybody, have a mass market, that will not happen unless you have crazy budgets, right? So start identifying what that micro niche is going to be, right? And create a lot of content. So content is going to be the future, but again, having very specific localized content for a very close set of users, right? Video is obviously going to keep increasing. So short term video is where everybody is moving towards, because attention spans are reducing, right?
Yes.
And I think AI will just accelerate things. I don't think AI will replace human beings. But if we become smart at using AI in our existing workflows, then we'll just move towards success much faster. So I think AI will accelerate all of this.
Yes, of course. And moving to the last public question, Ankit asks, what are the three ways to run a successful business?
3 ways to run a successful business.
Vast topic you have to cover in three ways.
Okay. Um, so I think if I was to, quantify running a business in three ways, I don't know, like one. So I've learned that. So instead of giving 3 ways, I'll say what are the 3 things which I feel you need to do for any business to be successful, right?
Yes, yes.
One is to learn sales, right? If you know sales, you can apply that to any business and become successful, right? And it's a skill which is perennial, right? No matter AI की age है, किसी की भी age हो, as long as you know how to sell things, you are in business, right? So that is the first most important thing. Second most important thing is how to hire people, right? And hiring the right people, right? Because at the end of the day, if you do everything on your own and you don't have a team which is working for you, then you've just created a job for yourself. It's not a business, right? आपका time, then you'll always be constrained by time, you know. So hiring the right people, and hiring people is the second most important skill to have. Third is to always fulfill and over deliver on the promise you make to your users or to your customers. So if you promise 30-minute delivery, which is what Domino's did, and you always deliver on that promise, you will be successful, right? So one needs to, and it's not easy, to be very honest, like to decide what we want to promise to our customers and always be able to deliver it. But if you're able to, do that, then you will create trust with your customers and they will never leave you. In fact, um, if so here's the mindset, right? If you had just one customer to work with, no other customer, just one customer to work with, and the only channel you had was word of mouth growth, from that one customer, how would you work? How would you serve that customer? Right? That you would probably treat that customer like God, because मैं digital भी नहीं कर सकता, मैं print ad नहीं कर सकता, मैं कुछ marketing नहीं कर सकता, the only marketing is word of mouth. So you would really be very, very serious about serving that one customer and ensuring they get 10x result working with you, right? Or 10x experience working with you. So if we bring that level of work, or I would say experience, to all of our customers, you'll have a fantastic business. So I think these are the three things which I've learned.
So, today we found how digital marketing is the catalyst for every business to grow. And from the expert himself, Prateek Modi, it was a very, very amazing conversation with Prateek. Thank you so much, Prateek, for joining us and connecting with us today. So, we had a lovely chat. And
Absolutely.
yes, so yes.
Thank you so much, Purnima, and thank you so much to everybody who attended. I hope you found value from this interaction.
Yes. So we definitely found out about ways that we can actually explore to grow our businesses, and digital marketing is one of the keys to it. So thank you so much yet again, and well,
Yeah. Thank you.
bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.